Ladies and gentlemen.
You want to do the intro? You can do the intro.
I don't know the intro. You do the intro.
I mean, there's really no intro. It's just kind of something along the lines of like, welcome everybody to the Creators Lounge podcast. I'm Omari Senpai. With me again today is Hawaiian Cobra, who you're seeing his very face for the very first time. He's not going to say anything. Got it. And then we have, Aeolus on the other side of me here. This is your first time on the podcast, right?
Yeah. That's crazy,
dude. Kooky and crazy. What can I say?
That's kooky and crazy, Bucko.
Today,
sorry, I was just waiting. I'm waiting for my pina colada. The lady's taking a while.
This dude,
the
stereotype. What can I say? He's Hawaiian. He can do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Creators Lounge podcast, where today we have Hawaiian Cobra waiting for a pina colada for an hour and a half, and that is the show.
Imagine we just sit here in silence as he waits for his pina colada. We just stare at each other.
I'll tell you what, that girl ain't gonna get the tip she expects. I'll tell you what.
We just blink really aggressively, like
it'll be here any minute. Hopefully, could use some.
Hopefully, I could use a drink too. Maybe I'll drink on stream. I don't know. Maybe I'll get... No, it's Wednesday. I'm not going to do that.
Well, I mean, it depends on how well you have to be in the morning.
I have physical therapy tomorrow. And
you'll be fine.
No,
you'll be nice and loose then.
Dude, I've made the mistake of showing up hungover to physical therapy, and that hurts. Like, the whole time, I was like, yo, past Colin, he sucks. His decision making is absolutely terrible.
I now regret all of my life choices.
And I blame him. Suck. He does suck, dude. He's actually the worst.
Yeah. Can't stand that guy.
Dude, me neither. That's why I'm sitting. Anyway, I'm sorry. That was a terrible joke. That was actually awful.
Wow.
I just thought it was because chairs are comfortable, but I forget yours.
Not this one. Listen to this.
Wait, that's not your knees?
No, if these are my knees, man, then at that point just amputate them. I'd like to be in a wheelchair.
Well,
actually, no, I wouldn't because I have stairs. I live on the second floor.
I was gonna say your apartment doesn't look that ADA compliant.
I would not be able to get into my apartment. I'd have to like go up the stairs on my butt and just go one stair at a time, and then just kind of like yeet the wheelchair like up the staircase as much as possible.
Just tie a rope to it and pull it up once you get to the top.
Well, the nice thing is it's a U staircase, you know, so I just throw up like 8 steps one way, then 8 steps the other way. The problem is if I throw it up over the second set of stairs, like it can go over the balcony and it'll just fall right back down into the parking lot.
I can see it now. Like, shit.
And then I have to go all the way down again. And, oh my goodness, it would be such a pain.
Amazing. Yeah.
So today, I guess, is about equipment in general, I guess, when you're talking about content creation. Speaking of which, I got 2 things. One, my capture card is messing up, so what I was going to play on stream isn't going to happen anymore. And 2, we just fixed my computer because it was ready to actually implode, like on the verge of imploding.
Yeah.
So that's
a little dramatic.
Time to talk equipment for sure.
A little dramatic, but you're not that far off.
I mean... So, okay, I should explain it. I mean, you two know, but for people who are watching this, they have no idea. So I was going through some struggles of my PC shutting down here and there, and I didn't think too much of it, I guess. I honestly thought it was just a power issue. So I was going to mess around with the power supply and different outlets and maybe try out a new surge protector and stuff like that, because I don't have it directly plugged into the wall. It's Florida, the lightning capital of the world. I'm not trying to test any sort of electronics, just plugging it into the wall.
Yep.
So I have surge protectors everywhere. Anyway, I was streaming one day and the computer shut itself down like I think twice that stream. And
This
Cobra,
was the first time it had a problem, right?
This PC, that's the first time this thing's ever had a problem.
No, I meant you're talking about the first time ever it started shutting down. I think it was like 3 times. Before you told chat, you were like, you know what, I tried.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, yeah, it was like 2 or 3 times during stream, but it was happening prior to that, just trying to play Call of Duty. Because obviously the new Call of Duty just rolled out, and I wanted to try it like everybody else. Anyway, so it's shutting down left and right, and I'm just like, whatever, it's a power thing. I'll get around to fixing it. It's not that big a deal. Well, Cobra's in my chat and he goes, open up your temperature settings on IQ, and guided me through it. And my CPU is running at 113 degrees Celsius on the low end. Yeah. And I've been doing, I mean, like work. I recorded a separate podcast prior to this one, all while it was running at that, but I had no idea. And Cobra in chat just goes, shut the bitch down. Turn it off right now. You need to kill it. Stop this. And I'm thinking to myself, man, I could do the rest of the stream. Like I've been gone for a while, like whatever. And he goes, no, turn it off right now. And I'm just like, okay, all right. Well, hey, look, I need to turn this off.
Well, to be fair, you were like, yes, Dad. I was like,
yeah,
you know,
standard like disgruntled teenager kind of vibes.
Yeah. Because you play a 14-year-old on stream.
Yeah, that's my persona, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
when I was 14, I couldn't grow this, but
my advice to everyone is never grow up. Enjoy your life.
Like that's a choice.
I physically can't age, so like I'm good.
Oh, that's true.
The downside is I don't have hands, but
or
the
legs.
The pixels will eventually fade, you know.
Not on this podcast, they won't.
I just get crisper every day,
dude. Much more crisp.
If you saw my abs,
dude, his abs are pretty insane. I wish I looked like that. I want to be him.
The girl over there, I want to see her abs. Yours, not so much.
Looking around, I'm like, I don't see a girl in here, but
she's over there.
I exist in a black void.
A literal black hole.
Look, she's suntanning. She's on her back.
That's why you're not even getting. That's why you're not getting your pina colada. She's busy.
Yeah. Speaking of equipment, Cobra, please. So how do you stream from the beach?
Well, see, we have Coconut Wireless here, so. We get,
okay.
You can't see it, but underneath me, I got the lava rocks. So I just threw the chair on top. I got a little desk. You know, I got my mic set up with the webcam, and you know, I mean, you got to work where you live, and you got to love where you live. So you know, I figured, why not?
You do not have to love where you live.
When Google started running the fiber optic cable through the coconut trees, I was really
don't you stream where you live? I mean, come on now.
Yeah, but I hate Florida.
I mean,
I'm a northerner at heart. I love snow. I love having 4 seasons. I like all that shit. Florida has 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Hot or rain. Well, hot, and then it gets like semi-cold in the winter, but
okay, wait, quick question. What's snow and what are 4 seasons?
Ooh.
What is snow? I know you're fucking with me, but man, you got to experience snow at least once in your life, man. I tell everybody that.
You know, shave ice. Think of that, but it comes from the sky.
Yeah, actually, yes.
Really? So what you're saying is, I can have a delicious treat all the time.
Yeah, dude. Sometimes it's already like pre-flavored. You'll find yellow shaved ice just lying around.
It's the best.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Lemon is always a good flavor.
It's tangy, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. True.
Anyway, yeah, going back.
Hardware.
Once we figured out what the issue was, we obviously just ordered a new AIO and installed it, and now here we are. Computer's not exploding anymore, and all is well in the world once more.
Yep.
And Senpai's beard is starting to grow back, so it was kind of good that you weren't there, and we didn't have to see you all clean shaven for a long time.
Dude, the baby face was it's not the move, man. I do not look my age when I shave.
But see, that's not necessarily a bad thing. But I mean, you got to be comfortable, and
it is for me.
More comfortable with your beard.
I'm just glad that we missed the awkward Hallmark Channel stubble period.
I mean, that's kind of where I'm at. It ain't much.
So,
I mean, you're right.
It's honest.
So, Eolus, let me ask you: do you have to shave, or do you just use the eraser tool in paint?
Yeah, well, like I said, I don't physically age, so no hair growth. You know, this hair. This is a wig, actually.
Completely fake.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not real. What if I told you I wasn't real.
I was actually gonna play into it and say like, yeah, everything about him is completely real except for the hair.
Except for the hair. Yeah, the hair's fake. Look at the way it moves. That doesn't look like real hair, does it? No.
The hair is
my whole
completely
concept
fake.
of reality has just been shattered. Thank you.
I know.
It's over. Done.
Yeah. So equipment wise, I guess I'm trying to gauge it and get back a little bit back on topic. So I guess if you guys just want to kind of explain your setups, if you want, like for like as of right now, you know.
Ildis, are you running a dual PC or single?
Single. Yeah.
Why don't you go first?
Yeah, I was gonna say COVID's is a lot more complex than mine.
Well, I mean, I think anybody who's thinking about getting into streaming kind of obsesses over having to have like everything they need. So
yeah,
going over for the single PC first, great, great start.
Right. Yeah.
You could go from there.
Yeah. So I run exclusively off of nerve gear. When the stream ends, I die in the game. and real life.
Just put you back in the closet until you're ready to stream again.
Exactly. Yeah. It's actually a new Aeolus every time. No, but
wait, Senpai, were you in my fridge? Damn it! Taking my water? Is that what's going on here?
I'm fucking thirsty, man. It is what it is.
I knew my cooler was looking a little spry this morning.
Y'all get to drink water?
What is water?
What's the water? I exist in a black void. No, but in reality, which I know VTubers like to pretend reality isn't a thing. But yeah, I was going to. When I first started streaming, I was streaming off of a ROG, an Asus ROG gaming laptop. Which is rough, man, really rough. And if you look at some of my early streams, I was like, hey, maybe let's not play Call of Duty because I can't do that. I am incapable of playing Call of Duty, actually. And when I really first started streaming, I was streaming straight from Xbox. And for the record, those are both completely viable things if you know your limits and you know what you can stream, you know what you're capable of doing, and how it's a little different than a full streaming setup. But if that's what works for you, it works for you. If you're a chess streamer, you don't need a really nice graphics card, you know?
Yeah.
But that said, I'm not a chess streamer. I'm a variety streamer, and I play with people, and I play with a lot of people who like to play new games. And I like to play those new games too. So when I decided to upgrade, it was the height of the GPU shortage.
Of course.
And so initially, yeah, seriously, it was rough. So I decided I was going to get it pre-built, and I talked to Milkman about it for a long time, and Milkman actually ended up getting a pre-built. And I was going to go for an NZXT pre-built because at the time they were kind of the best bang for your buck. And I was going to get one of their small form factor ones in their H1 case. Which is it's smaller, it's nice and compact. It's got a little bit of cooling issues here and there, but I thought for my purposes and the price point, it was really, really good. And then I saw a 3060 Ti on sale. And I was like,
add to cart.
Yeah. Take my money.
His non-virtual hands were feverishly trying to hit.
For the record, I just slammed my desk and my ring light fell down. Yeah, so I picked that up, and so I run a 3060 Ti. I run a Ryzen 5 5600X, and 32 gigabytes of 3200 RAM. And so it's a good setup.
Yeah, it's a good build.
It's really good. And also, I don't know how I did it. I think it's the way that I set up my airflow or something, but it runs better than it should. It runs way better.
I wouldn't ask questions.
Than it should. Yeah. I don't ask questions. But I got two enormous Noctua fans in the front. My cooler is an air cooler, and it's an off-brand like $18 on Amazon cooler. That gets me to Noctua air cooler temperatures. It's great. It's really, really nice, and I saved so much money on it. I saved so much money on it. It's
Gets the
great.
job done for sure. Save some money.
Oh yeah, yeah, and it works incredibly. So yeah, as far as my setup, that's basically it. It's super simple. I'm in a basic NZXT case. I mean,
Literally.
yeah, it's incredibly basic. That's for my PC. My mic is a borrowed it's a borrowed Samson Meteor that's like 10 years old. That my old mic died, and my buddy was like, "Here, take my old one because it's still barely alive." And so, it works great, but also sometimes I go into full Xbox mic mode. Like once in a while, I just can't understand a word I say, especially when I get real pissed off.
The best part is your entire model just like cranked his neck to the side.
Are you part contortionist? I must know.
Well, let's see.
His whole body just.
I'll allow it.
Yeah, I have my second monitor is from 2007. My main monitor is a brand new Acer. It's 2K. It's a really good monitor. So I mean, I guess my point is just with my stuff, it's if you can get good stuff, and then otherwise work with what you got.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's enough. I'm using a secondhand Red Dragon keyboard.
Oh, dude, I have a Red Dragon mouse pad. Let's go.
I mean, they're cheap, but they work, and it's super clicky, and I like really, really loud clicks.
You like the clicks?
Yeah. And then I just upgraded my mouse to one of the Logitech, like a Lightspeed or something. I don't know. It's really nice. It's super lightweight, and it's not one of the like gaming mouses, so it's actually more comfortable in my hand because it doesn't have all spikes on it and stuff.
Yeah.
My camera is I use a real camera. I use Canon EOS Rebel T7. You can see me looking up at it to make sure that I'm saying what it's
jealous.
called right.
I'm jealous.
Which we got because we didn't have a webcam, but also we've been talking. My wife and I were talking about wanting to be able to take better pictures on family trips and when we had kids and that sort of thing. And I was like, yeah, we'll just double it as my camera for this. And so what's funny is I have really incredible camera quality. And I choose to exist in a void.
So I was just about to ask. I mean,
yeah, I have great camera quality. Yeah, I got my headphones are from Walmart. Like you don't have to do the top of the line for everything to have a pretty killer setup. And I get 144 FPS in Modern Warfare 2. So I'm chilling. I'm great. I'm happy.
I definitely save the money where you can. I agree with that 100%. And
Yeah, exactly.
I'm the same way too. So like I get my 144 frames, but I'm very much a performance guy over a quality guy. So mainly in shooters. If I'm playing like a single player game, I'll live with 60 FPS because it's really not like it doesn't really matter. So I'll prefer quality over the performance. But in shooters, I just put everything to minimal. I'm like, I don't need any of this crap. I just want my frames.
Yeah, I do like medium, not minimal. But I crank up my NVIDIA DLSS big time. But I mean, like even the little things, right? Like my mouse pad. I got a desk mat, and I wanted like a nice desk mat, but desk mat aren't like cheap. But do you know what is really cheap?
Cardboard box.
Magic the Gathering playmats are really cheap. And so that's what I use. It's great. It works perfectly. So yeah, I mean that's my setup. I know Cobra's a lot more complex. He's got the good stuff going.
He's gonna talk about shit that even I won't comprehend.
Yeah. My feeble mind trembles at the thought.
You guys are overselling this way too much, and then everybody's gonna be really
All right. Well, what are you running here? I know you're on the beach, so you got like the sand cooler or what?
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, I had to kind of put everything kind of up high so that when the wind blows, it doesn't all get into the computer, because that's really a bitch to clean out. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
If you ever had to clean sand out of your crack, you understand what I'm talking about.
Every time I go to the beach in Florida.
Yeah, I don't have a butt, so I don't have to deal with that. But
you're lucky.
Well, sometimes.
I go to the Florida beach one day, and I'm cleaning sand out of shit anywhere and everywhere for like the next 3 days.
I shouldn't have brought that up, but okay.
Well, it's just the sand here is like so like fine. Like
I can't. Sand is weird. It's like sawdust.
Essentially,
depending on where you go here, we've got beaches. You can drive around the island, literally go from one beach that has really coarse sand to one that has like powder for sand. It's really stupid.
That's what it is here. It's like powder in Florida, whereas back in Wisconsin, a beach is just like I wouldn't even consider it sand. It's just rocks.
No. In Wisconsin, what's a beach?
Oh, well, we got the ponds and the lakes and such.
But isn't the necessary definition of a beach ocean water? I'm asking. I'm not saying.
I mean, I don't know the Webster's dictionary like definition.
We're gonna have to look this up later, and we're gonna get back to this.
Lakes have beaches too. I think it's the sand.
Really?
Sand next to the water. Yeah, that's a thing. But like in Oregon, I'm actually from Oregon, and we don't even have beaches. We just call it the coast because it's just cliff, like a cliff face, and then the ocean.
Yeah. So
did you get there by the trail?
Did I get to Oregon via the trail?
Yeah.
He died of dysentery. That's why he's in a void now.
Yeah, I died of dysentery and was reincarnated as an anime boy.
So you understood that reference. I love you.
The Oxford definition of a beach is a pebbly or sandy shore, especially by the ocean between high and low water marks.
Especially, but not exclusively.
Yeah.
But also they said pebbly, so whatever.
Which is on it. Well, the beaches in, like I said, the beaches in Wisconsin, you're pretty much just running around on gravel.
Yeah. My wife's first time ever at the beach was in Scotland. Imagine that.
Scotland! I'm not Scottish.
I am.
It wasn't a beach. It was just like rocks.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the deeper you get out into the water, the more like sharper and bigger the rocks are. So you're just like begging, unless you're careful and where you're at and you know the spots. Water shoes are recommended, but I've never worn them. I was just kind of like, if my feet get cut, my feet get cut. It's whatever. I'll live.
Yeah, I mean, everybody knows the sharks like white meat, so you know.
Anyway, hey, our ADHD kicked in real hard here. So, Cobra, what you running, homie?
Okay, so initially when I started streaming, so I have a Strix ROG Z390 motherboard with a i9 10900K.
Talking about his motherboard.
He talked about my mother.
Well, I mean, well, it's right over there, so I'm just looking at it. So yeah, so running the ROG Strix motherboard with the 10900K, 10 core, 20 thread, overclocked to 5.0 gigahertz, all 10 cores.
Gorgeous.
Everything else is pretty much Corsair, besides the Corsair fans, Corsair AIO. 64 gigs of Corsair RAM.
64. Wow, that's
64. Well, we'll get to that later. So 2 1 terabyte M.2s on the motherboard. Then I have three SATA SSDs, 1 terabyte apiece. And I have 2 4 terabyte hard drives for recording the streams on a EVGA 3080 Ti.
You have 11 terabytes of storage?
Yeah, 14, I didn't even go into my storage.
14 terabytes total.
I was just doing the quick math here, but holy shit.
Yeah, no, I mean, I have 16 terabytes of storage.
I have 1.5.
Take that back. I have 12 terabytes because I took 2 of the 14 and put it in the streaming rig. My bad.
I have 1.5.
So you gotta understand, 8 terabytes of that are hard drives, so they're not.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say.
So, that's not as impressive as looking if I had 12 terabytes of SSD, but
still impressive if you ask me personally. But I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. So I got an EVGA for the win 3080 Ti. F's in chat for EVGA stepping out of the GPU market, but
yeah, Omega Sag, that's rough.
They made some of the best stuff. I have a Asus ROG Thor 1200 watt power supply, platinum rated. Way overkill for this rig, but it's always nice to have that expandability if you add more stuff. I got it on sale. The one thing is I do have a lot of quote expensive parts, expensive gear, but I monitor Amazon and Best Buy like they owe me money. And I will, if I see something on sale and it's a decent price, I will go grab it. So my PC case, Corsair 7000D, 15 fans, just because I like the wooing sound. You know, it's nice to not be able to hear when you shut your stream down. But Hawaii is hot and humid. I mean, you know, it's humid.
Yeah, you need the cooling. Yeah, I'm in Idaho where everything's cold, which is probably why my PC runs so well, just because of the air alone.
The computer's actually outside in the snow.
That's true. Yeah.
I mean, if you did that, it'd probably run awesome. But I mean, also you got to remember your TDP of your 5600X is only 65 watts, not a ton of power. Whereas
yeah exactly.
Mine is like 230, so it's
right.
Stupid powerful for no reason. But I'm trying to. Well, at the time, I had aspirations of doing more video editing that I've never done and whatnot. So why don't you start with me?
And that brings up something really interesting that we could talk about a little bit later. But like having the best equipment, if you can't cool it properly, is not an advantage.
It's not worth it.
It's actually worse for you in the long run.
I was going to go there when we get to like maintenance and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I feel like we'll get there eventually.
We'll get there eventually. So that was the gaming rig. The streaming rig was a same Asus brand board, but it was so I have a Z, whatever the 10 series is on the thing, and then I have another Asus board. I believe it's a 290 or 390, 370 for, and it was a 9900K, so 8-core 16 thread, and that was running with a 32 gigs of Corsair RAM with a 2080 Ti. I then realized that was way overkill for a streaming rig, and I was really wasting its potential. So I ended up turning that rig into a guest PC because I have friends that come by and want to play games, and I'll let them play on that. Also, for the potential, if any of you guys come to visit, you know, we can co-stream and do a little fun shit there. Pardon my French.
Yeah, man, pay for my ticket. I'll come to Hawaii immediately.
Well, I'm already giving you room and board. I mean, what more do you want?
A ticket.
Fair. Okay.
At least he's honest. Well, you know, we're throwing a lot of numbers at you. We're throwing a lot of information at our beautiful viewers. But I'm sure Senpai will lovingly edit everything that we're saying into the stream and give you full information on all the specs. Actually,
you know, I would say Google is your friend. If you want to know, about it,
for us,
just pop it into Google.
It's a lot of numbers and a lot of specs, and it's kind of, if you don't know tech, it's a little hard to keep up with, and it can be a little overwhelming,
especially nowadays.
I think in a little bit we will talk a little bit more about how, you know, setting up and stuff. It's not as tough as it seems. It's a lot of numbers, it's a lot of specs, but it can be simplified.
Don't feel lost when Cobra spits out numbers at me. I still have no idea what the fuck he's talking about. So,
and I still love you. So here we go. You know, we're fine.
I'm like way dumbed down. Like when I talk about what I'm running, it's going to be way dumbed down compared to what you got going on. But I'll let you continue.
We're fine. So that was this. So I turned that into a guest PC. So I ended up going with a Intel i7 8700K, which was their top of the line CPU at the time, with just a 1080. It's a plain old 1080 non-TI Gigabyte WinForce 3 that was given to me lovingly as a gift. And I mean, technically, somebody could game on this thing if they wanted to. It would do just fine. I could have 3 people gaming here, plus people on over there on a hammock with a PlayStation if they wanted to. And
Yo, I would chill on that hammock. I would just sit there and play some Delivery Boy Simulator, Death Stranding, and I would just vibe out, dude.
Just saying, sun is warm, water's wet, sand is sandy.
I'd sit with Senpai and cuddle him while he did that.
How are you going to do that when you don't have hands?
I hold him.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Okay, so you're just basically one big body pillow for him at this point.
First, I need help escaping the void, though. So
we'll get you out eventually.
Thanks.
I'll
throw some more numbers out, and we'll get you out.
So for the capture, I got the Elgato 4K 60 Mark II, and let me tell you, anybody who's listening, that is way overkill and not needed for streaming. No streaming service besides YouTube allows you to use 4K. I got it not knowing that, but I also got it on sale, so I'm not going to complain. Money spent, whatever. I have 2 of everything on my desk. I have 2 keyboards, 2 mice. My gaming keyboard is a Corsair K100, their best keyboard that they make right now, and I really love it. It's optical switched, so it's pretty much instantaneous once you hit it. My mouse is what the hell is this one? I don't even remember what mouse I have now because now I have to talk about it. Dark Core Pro SC. So it's wireless with wireless charging, but I use it wired. So, and then the streaming PC, I have a A60 RGB with, I think, what the hell's this mouse? I should have double checked this before we started.
I don't think people are going to be sweating about your mouse.
Yeah, so it's an M55 Pro. So it's lightweight. It has a couple of extra buttons, but it's a decent mouse. It's good enough, especially for a streaming rig. But again, if somebody wanted a game on it, they could. As far as audio goes, I'm running the Logitech X Pro wired, not wireless. I have a OXLR for my audio splitting and voice changer, stuff like that. I have a Stream Deck XL for soundboard for stream and also switching out the scenes and whatnot. One thing people don't even think about is things like I have a HDMI switch so that I can run my PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3 to the streaming PC so that I can play console games if I wanted to. I have my own mouse pad available on my merch store, so it's got my logo on it.
Gotta get the plug in. Gotta get the plug in. Gotta get the plug in.
I mean, I gotta tell you what I'm using here. My main monitor is a Dell 32-inch, 165 hertz refresh, 1440p. I only have one monitor on the gaming rig, but there is an HDMI that goes to the streaming. On the streaming rig, I have dual 24-inch, 75 hertz 1080 monitors, perfectly fine for what I need them for, especially with this graphics card at 75 hertz. Very little screen tearing if you wanted to game on it. But I actually keep one monitor in portrait and one in landscape, so that
can't do that. I'm not that. That's not my thing.
I'm not that guy either.
Yeah.
You got to hear me out though. The reason I do it is because when I'm reading chat, I could go back quicker because it's double the height versus if you had it in a traditional way. And I'm not a fast reader, so sometimes it takes me a little while. So that there's a method to my madness. It's based off of me, which is one of the big things.
Oh yeah.
Get your setup that works for you.
Yeah, it's yours.
Yeah, it's going to be your personality.
Well, my VC face, to break the fourth wall, I guess. My VC face, my app that controls what I look like. It's on my second monitor. That's where I adjust things and stuff, and so I need it to be the same shape as the box it's going into, which is
understandable. Understandable. These 2 monitors have nothing to do with the game. It's just for the stream. So my traditional monitor has my stream elements on it, my OBS, and then on the other PC, I'll have my text to speech or chat, and then I also have
all right, you do that. That's right.
everybody else tabbed up that I'm playing with, just to share the love.
Mm-hmm.
Also, if I need to find something, having it in portrait, a web page loads in that size, but it also stretches all the way down. So if I need to find something quick, I don't have to scroll as far. It just saves me microseconds, which is not hugely important, but it makes my stream feel better. I have, like everybody else, I got Spotify, but I actually have Spotify running on both PCs. And again, method to the madness, because I only have one monitor on the gaming PC. I can change the music from the streaming PC, and it'll change on the gaming PC. So that's not a requirement, but something I do. I highly recommend hardware monitoring software. I'm gonna do this. Case in point, Senpai's temperatures for his stream. He had no clue until he pulled it up. And then there's a lot of freeware out there, GPUs, CPUs. Hell, even Corsair IQ will do it even without having Corsair products. Not everybody likes IQ, but it's there. NZXT makes their hardware monitoring software.
So and there it is. There it is. See, he just made a very interesting point, because we get all of our tech information from Canadian YouTubers. And so he just said NZXT for that reason instead of NZXT.
Well, I hang out with a lot of Canadians, so it kind of happens.
I used to run NZXT. I used to have that as my performance monitor, but
yeah,
I could never, for the life of me, make it to where the overlays in the game actually worked, no matter what hotkey I used. So I just uninstalled it. I was like, I don't want to have this up on my other monitor, like the entire thing, because you can't like resize it. You can't resize it completely. It just like it can only go so small, right? And so I was just like, it's taking up like half of the monitor I have. I don't want this. So I just got rid of it. And I was like, the new way I'm gonna see if my PC's hot, I'm just gonna touch it. And yeah, you see all my fingerprints on the glass.
That is not how you're gonna do. That is not how you're gonna do that. Okay. As I've told you,
that's what I did. I'm saying what I did. I'm not downloading your software. No offense. I got IQ now, so I'm golden. But
as far as overlay goes, if you want, I know I'm not talking about you, Senpai, but those watching, any of you that have seen my stream, I have the Call of Duty. I have the Call of Duty's one on there, but I also use MSI Afterburner, which is traditionally used for overclocking GPUs, but it also comes with a piece of software called Rivatuner, which allows you to monitor your information, but it also gives you an overlay for your stream, which is on my stream pretty much all the time. I want to be able to know what my frames are doing. I want to know what my temperatures are. In a single player game, I will turn them off. Competitive, I will tend to leave them on because I would like to know what's going on. It's really easy to have something go wrong on a PC if you're not paying attention. We're very fortunate that CPU that's in Senpai's PC just would not give up no matter what was going on with it.
Yeah, it's not dead yet.
Well, where's that coconut tree?
It's fine. I know eventually, just like any sort of technology, eventually things die. It's just the world we live in, and eventually who knows if it's going to happen tomorrow or 5 years down the line, or if it doesn't die and I just decide to upgrade it anyway. It's just the world we live in. Now, if it did die during all of that fiasco with it not being cooled properly, that would have been an issue because I don't have the money for a new CPU at the current moment. But that's just because of my own life, and I don't budget. So that's on me. That's literally on me.
Problem, really.
It is what it is.
Well, that's the good little segue into the next thing I wanted to bring up. It's that hardware monitoring only through software only does so much. The other thing is just basic PC maintenance, but you don't. So how's this? A lot of people myself included, when I bought my 900K, I was like, wow, I'm never gonna have to change out this PC. Well, I mean, not necessarily true. It'll probably work and do its job until the day it dies, but there's always going to be new innovation. So it's that fine line, right? Do you want to jump on the bandwagon and possibly change something every year, or do you want something that's going to faithfully work for you for a time? That's always going to be your discussion you're going to have with yourself when getting a setup.
And if we're talking about maintenance, the one thing that I'll input into that is a 99-cent can of air goes a long way.
Real long way, yeah.
Oh no, you're not joking.
And that's, I mean, it on consoles too. It's important. I clean my PS5 just because it's first of all, they made it super easy to clean with the plates, but I cleaned my PS5 like once a month. The Xbox Series X, on the other hand, it's tough because the thing's built like a mini fridge, and you just kind of have to spray air through the bottom and hope that stuff comes out of the top, and that's really all you can do, and hope for the best. There's no way to open it. But in PCs, when you can just take off the side plate and everything else, yeah, like little 99-cent canned air. I mean, shoot, I go to Walmart and get like 3 cans for like $4 or something. Just get the dust out of there, because that's going to be, I mean, your biggest enemy.
Yeah, and like if you're going for like a real thorough dusting job, open that sucker up, get yourself an alcohol wipe, and take care of business. I'd say
make sure before you use alcohol or any kind of liquid, regardless of if it's conductive, shut your PC down, turn off the power supply if it has a switch, and unplug it.
If you are ever opening your PC, you shut that sucker down and you unplug it.
Yep.
Okay, and then you wait a few minutes for power to dispel.
Yeah. That should be one of the big things. Always make sure you're working on it when it's powered.
You don't want yourself zapped, and you don't want your parts zapped, because that can fry the parts, and that's expensive. And frying yourself is also pretty expensive.
Yeah. People think 110 volts is what kills the computer. You need to realize that your CPU runs on literally 1 volt, or 5 volts. Is 5 volts, 3 volts are basically what runs through your board, except for a lot of other, like the GPUs are run on 12 volts. So it doesn't take a lot to damage an electronic component in a computer. Right. The other thing, besides a can of air, that can really go a long way for the minimal amount of investment, just simple paintbrush. Get a couple of paintbrush, a couple of dirt cheap paintbrushes in different sizes. Get natural boar's hair if you can. If you live in a high static area, try to make sure you get something that's not going to cause static. But a couple of brushes in different sizes that'll get into the corners, the little nitty gritties, loosen up the dust. It goes a long way. A $1 brush will last you until it falls apart, which will take a year.
Yeah, I mean, above all else, like, doesn't matter what you're running. It doesn't matter what your setup is. If you're not, at least, I like to say once a month, opening that sucker up, blasting it with some air, brushing some stuff off once a month, and you're going to be running smoothly for a long time. If you don't touch your PC and you're trying to stream, your streams are going to start dying, and your frames are going to start dropping, and you're going to start seeing issues, because dust causes so many issues, and it's such an easy fix. It just takes a few minutes out of your day once a month, and you're good. You're chilling.
And if you got like pets or something that cause even more hair, like maybe twice a month. Like,
yeah, if you got pets, twice a month.
The girlfriend has huskies, and they shed a lot, and that hair gets literally everywhere. And
not even just pet hair, but also pet dander.
Yeah,
and the pet dander tends to be really dry if it's not humid, and it's really easy to get out.
Also, don't keep your PC on the floor. Like,
yeah,
you want to avoid dust.
Yeah.
Don't keep your PC on the floor, and don't keep it near an open window.
We got a pig in the ground cooking. They were just updating me. Sorry.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you're good.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff, regardless of what you run, you want to make sure that, like, the longevity of its life can be as long as possible. So the upkeep, it doesn't take much time. but it helps a lot. I'm gonna take you guys back to a time of very early senpai here. I'm talking like 2017 senpai here.
You were all of what, 5 at the time?
I was 20.
Wow,
and
that's when I started streaming on Mixer.
I was just about to say, I started streaming on Mixer straight from my Xbox One.
Yeah.
And I, because they were integrated. That's the word I'm looking for. Integrated.
Yep.
Rip Mixer, dude. Big sad, dude. I really liked Mixer, but not important. That's when I started streaming, and that's all I had. I just used my Xbox and then the microphone that plugged into my Xbox, and that was it. And honestly, work with what you have. That's what I had at the time. That's all I could have. I mean, I couldn't afford anything new. The PC I had wasn't. I was struggling to play like basic games. Basic being like RuneScape or Minecraft, like but it was old. I mean, that PC was kicking for like a good 6 years or so. Sure. Fast forward, I was gaming on that PC. I never streamed on it. Eventually, it ended up dying, right? And it was just everything about it was dead. And you have warning tones when you turn on a PC. I think I got like every warning tone in the book when I turned on that PC. So eventually it just wouldn't turn on anymore. And then this was in the middle of COVID and you couldn't find parts anywhere. And when you could find parts, it took forever to get shipped to you. And so I was like, I got college coming up. I'd take online courses. I didn't have any other way to take those online courses without a PC. So I was like, I just need to go buy a pre-build. So I went to Best Buy. I got this iPod Power build. You know what? This thing's been lasting me years. Except for the
iPod Power does all right builds. Yeah.
Yeah. Except for the, fan incident, I guess, but it was like a year and a half after I had it that died. Right. But I mean, it's got an i7, 2080 RTX Super, like, good build, right? And it still plays everything like how I want it. Like I said, I mean, I'm pretty much just playing games strictly for frames anyway.
I'm literally just gonna say that's a solid build. I mean, it really is.
Solid build. Well, and sorry, go on, Cobra.
I wanted to put out there, if you're interested in a pre-build, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, don't fall into the. Yeah. Some people give other people so much crap about getting a pre-build.
Well, hold on a second. So that's true. That's very true. That's where I wanted to go here. I built my PCs because I like building stuff. Just who I am. It's got nothing to do with pre-builds being bad or good or any of that. But there's a huge amount of resources on online for reviews on pre-builds. I know everybody knows Gamers Nexus. They love buying anonymous pre-builds and then testing them, seeing how they're doing, but possibly build quality, assembly, that kind of stuff. Don't be afraid to do some research before you spend your money. It is your hard-earned money. Whether it's a birthday money, graduation money, wherever that money came from, somebody had to work for it. So take the time to know what it is you're getting, and you're not going to be disappointed. If you have a realistic expectation of what you want, it'll all be fine.
Yeah, that's the main thing too, is whenever stream with what you have, play games with what you have, regardless of whether you're just a streamer or whatever else, do whatever sort of content creation you can with what you have. And then when it's time to upgrade, yeah, definitely do the research and like, don't be like me and just buy shit, because half the time it doesn't work. I have a really crappy webcam that I use as like a full room webcam now, but it's a piece of crap, but it got like good reviews on Amazon. I should have looked into it more. But now I'm rocking the Elgato face cam, and the reason why it looks all crappy right now with frames is because it doesn't like to work with Discord all that well. So thanks, I guess.
That's a fair point. Aeolus has a several hundred, maybe $1,000 camera. I'm using.
Yeah. It's a lower end.
I don't know too much about regular cameras. I'm using just a plain old Logitech C922.
Yeah, and
less than $100. Great cam.
I believe that the Elgato face cam runs you about $200. I think
it's actually, so they dropped the price. So they recently came out with a new face cam that is going to be 4K.
Okay, so yeah, I don't have the 4K.
Well, I'm not saying you do. I'm just saying that they've dropped the price, so now it's gotten even cheaper. It's down into below 150.
And like the quality's good, like except for
amazing.
It not, excuse me,
like
working with Discord very well. I don't know what the reason on that is. I'll figure that out in the future. But you look at like my streams or my videos, like
it's on point. I love
good little webcam.
I love looking at his stream.
Especially looking at my situation. I'm a VTuber, obviously.
No way. I look like this.
I don't have legs.
I didn't know this.
As a VTuber, you really don't need something expensive. I have a nice camera for other reasons, right? I have the nice camera because I wanted it for outside of streaming stuff. If you are a VTuber, you need something that can see your face, and that's it. Because all you need to do is have motion tracking. All you need to do is have motion tracking. Now, there is an infinite upgrade scale when it comes to all equipment. You look at me and how I move. If you want to see some wicked VTuber tech, you go watch Code Miko. Code Miko has some crazy stuff. She uses a full body tracking suit. Her model is rendered in Unreal Engine 5. Okay.
Wow.
She's wicked. She's so cool. Her movements and everything. It's so beautiful and impressive to watch. And you know what? It's cost her thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. And do you know how much I paid to be a VTuber?
No. $36.
$0. Okay.
Impressive. All right.
My model cost nothing. The camera cost, but I already had it. If you want to do something with streaming, there are ways to do it for little to no money.
Yeah.
And there are ways to do it for thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. You don't have to spend all that money.
That's it.
You can upgrade over time, and if that's what you want to become. Do I want full body tracking? Heck yeah. Do I want to have hands? Bruh, I want hands so bad. Like, I can't scratch my nose.
Imagine having hands.
Imagine having hands.
Cringe, dude.
When
Hey, wait, come here. I'll scratch your nose for you. Just lean in a little more.
He's trying as his model's all hunched over.
How's that? Is that working?
Yeah. Thanks.
Okay, we're good.
Really appreciate it. But yeah, I mean, you don't need. Like I said, I started streaming on Mixer.
Mixer.
And then I moved on to, when I first went to Twitch, it was with a gaming laptop, and that gaming laptop, I didn't even buy it for gaming. I didn't plan to do any gaming on it. I needed it for school. I needed a more powerful laptop for school.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine claiming you needed a gaming laptop for school.
Cobra's getting the point of our joke now. Cringe,
he's
dude.
in there. Yeah, he's figuring it out.
That's the thing too, is like half the equipment people have. You see, when people look at streamers like, oh wow, these people have all this stuff, man. You don't need it. And even like the main thing too is I got a Blue Yeti mic. It runs you like $200, whatever. But the thing is, you could use those other microphones that you probably already have and throw like a noise gate or suppression or like all these other things and filters that you can use on OBS themselves to make it sound good.
$50 mic that I didn't pay for. I'm borrowing it from a buddy.
Yeah, and yours probably sounds better than mine.
That's okay.
And yours probably sounds better than mine, and that's mainly because I haven't taken the time to really sort out the audio that I want to have. But
I think you sound great.
But then on the flip side of that, I have a Shure, microphone that costs
exactly what I was going to say.
200 something bucks,
Right.
But I can get really close and it doesn't sound too bad.
But it goes off what Aeolus said. Like when you want to upgrade, there's like an infinite scale of upgradability in almost every single part and light and keyboard and you name it, like infinite scale. But stay within your budget and stay true to what you have. You don't need all this shit that Ninja has or Tim the Tatman has or Lulu, whatever. Like you don't need all of that right now. Like
what you have does not matter. What matters is knowing your limits of what you can do with what you have and taking care of what you have.
Now, I'd like to make a statement and see if you guys agree with me.
Mm-hmm.
the most
just a statement. I don't want an entire novel out of you. I want a statement, and I'll answer yes or no.
Yeah, 8 words or less.
Getting in. I can't do anything in 8 words. Come on.
That's all right. That's fair.
Getting started in streaming, the most important part is building a community. Mm-hmm. So
yeah,
working with what you have doesn't make you any worse or better as a streamer. If you build a decent community and you get people who want to be there for you and they enjoy your content, regardless of the game you're playing, everything else will come.
And then when you upgrade, not only are you excited, but everybody who's in your community is also freaking hyped. When I got this new camera, I was like, yo, messing my Discord, yo, guys, got this sick camera and this cool light. Like, I'm going to be looking crisp. And everybody was like, oh my God, that's awesome. And I was like, yeah, dude, it is awesome.
Yeah, we're going to be able to, we're going to be able to see every pore on your nose, you know?
I don't even know if I still have the old webcam I used to.
Well, just think, one day I will have hands. One day I'm going to have hands. I'm going to be able to wave at you. I'm going to be able to scratch my nose. I'm going to be able to make stupid gestures. And it's going to be sick.
Imagine not being excited. Able to wave.
Cringe. You know, but yeah, cringe. But yeah, you know, your upgradability for your equipment is infinite. And you don't need to start with the best stuff.
There we go. I had a little 720p. I don't even think this is actually Logitech. It says Logitech.
It is. Because I just looked up at mine and the logo is the same.
I couldn't tell you what matters is that
you're able to work within your limits and work within what you have to connect with your community.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Your community. Again, if you're a chess streamer, you do not need a 4090.
And a lot of people are probably going to think I'm being hypocritical, telling you you don't need this or that when I have shit. But I will say that, you know, it didn't happen because I just magically had the money to do it. I worked in a field where I was able to afford these kinds of things. So everybody's situation is going to be different, and I'm never going to judge you because of what you're running. I'm going to be looking at your content, who you are, how you interact with people, just like I expect people to do when they come into my chat.
There for you, baby.
Yeah, I come into Senpai's chat. I don't give a damn what he's. Now I will say when he was doing the Arkham series, whole different subject. I wasn't really there for him. I was there for Arkham, but you know, the personality of the people around, especially in the Creators Lounge, is amazing. I love being around these guys. They, it's a whole new world. It's definitely not the beach, you know, but it's a great place to be. It's a great bunch of people to hang out with and great people to learn from. I mean, even if we're just talking about nothing, it's still so enjoyable.
I guess to really kind of wrap it up and to get it into like one cohesive thing is like, you don't have to be a Corsair simp like me. Pretty much everything I have is Corsair: headphones, keyboard, mouse. I mean, you name it, Corsair. And that stuff's expensive, right? So key takeaway, and feel free to add on to this, is work on, well, Ayla's pretty much already said it, like not even 5 minutes ago. Work with what you have, and what you do have, try and like make its lifespan be as long as possible until you have the means to upgrade, if that's what you want to do. And if you are going to upgrade, I personally highly suggest waiting for things like Amazon days, even like Black Friday, Cyber Monday. I got my light, my face cam, my stream deck, everything last Black Friday, and all of it was 50% off at Best Buy. And that's a huge amount of money I saved, because this stuff ain't cheap.
Or even just monitoring Best Buy in general, Micro Center, if you have a local one. Their prices, you know, you can find it online, and you know, that's the price you'll pay in the store. Hell, you can just buy it online, pick it up a curbside now, you know.
Oh,
but
last thing I'll say is, a huge trap when you're streaming is feeling like you need a stream deck. I fell into this pitfall.
I was gonna say that.
And everything else, if you're running OBS or really any streaming software,
which is free,
you can hotkey any of the things you can hotkey to a stream deck. in your keyboard somewhere. So like my Corsair keyboard has these little gamer buttons that I can use, and I personally use the number pad for all my different, hotkeys for everything else. And it's like, you can just use that. You don't need the Stream Deck.
To be fair, Corsair owns Elgato, but
if I may, okay,
of course.
Let's say you feel that you need a Stream Deck, but you can't afford a Stream Deck.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, I think he's going where I was going to go.
Well, you feel you need a Stream Deck, you can't afford a Stream Deck. You can't afford $200. You can afford $5 though. Let's say. There's an app on your phone to turn your phone into a Stream Deck.
Dude,
and it's
there it is.
by Elgato.
Yep.
Okay. Or you don't even need to do that. Do you have okay, Sykkuno, one of the biggest streamers in the world.
Mm-hmm.
He has one scene. He does not have a Stream Deck. He has one scene in OBS. He does everything by hand. Anytime he has to move everything around, he does it completely by hand. Because it's not about what your stream looks like. It's not about what tech you have. It's about how you are, who you're with, and developing community. And in his case, being really hot and having the voice of an anime protagonist.
That helps. That helps.
Which helps.
I have no idea who that is, but I'm just going to run with what you're saying.
He's hot.
Gospel.
Yeah, he
as
looks
a straight
like
male,
me,
he's hot.
As a real human being, which is kind of crazy.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, that's not the point. The point is he's one of the biggest streamers in the world, and he doesn't have all that fancy stuff.
Look, we got guys on the beach in Speedo, so I don't know what you're comparing it to. So it's kind of unfair here.
Yeah, we got dark shadows haunting me and rubbing my back. So
I live
don't
alone.
know what you're talking.
Is that why you keep twitching? That explains it. Okay.
What other?
So another thing with the Stream Deck. So there are various sizes at different price points. One thing to remember, you're not limited to whatever number of keys are there, which is it's what the trap I fell into. I got the XL. I wanted a whole bunch of keys because I didn't want to not run out of buttons to push. They make pages now, so you can make one 8-key Elgato Stream Deck have hundreds of commands because you could just open a folder that's going to have 7 commands in it because it has one button to go back to the previous menu. So that's where, like I said, doing your research, looking into it will pay dividends. And if you're the type you don't like to read, you don't want to go read somebody's review, turn on YouTube while you're eating a snack.
YouTube is huge.
By the way, oh sorry, go ahead.
I didn't have anything else to say.
You do not need to go buy something brand new off of Amazon. You don't need to go buy a brand new Stream Deck. You don't need to do anything like that. You look online, you look on Facebook Marketplace, you look on eBay, you look on, anywhere you can look. And don't even just think of those things. If you live near a college, go buy their leftover surplus old stuff. All right. I'm very good friends with a very, very large YouTuber. And he got his soundboard that he does all of his sound editing and everything with for $15 getting rid of by a school. And it's a high-end professional thing, and they just needed to get rid of it. And they got rid of it for $15 at their little surplus location. Think outside the box.
Yeah.
Amazon is not your only friend. Daddy Bezos can help you out here and there, but the homie down the street can help you out probably a lot more in a lot of cases.
Yeah. And it definitely helps out a lot. Unless you're a man like myself who it's I don't know why I'm this way. I just am. But when it comes to any sort of technology, I refuse to buy refurbished. I don't know. I'm weird in that regard. There's definitely nothing wrong with it. I just personally I think it stems from me working at GameStop and seeing the disgusting and grotesque things that I had to take in trade, and just seeing that and being like, I don't want to remotely touch this. So if I see refurbished or anything, I'm just like, eh. But yeah, if you don't have any quarrels with that, by all means, definitely do that. I'm just weird. That's literally just a me thing.
I don't mind getting used from a person. I don't like buying used or refurbished from a retail store because let's use GameStop as an example. They give people pennies for it and then sell it for 10 times that when they mark it back up. And the original manufacturer doesn't get a dime of that. This is just pure profit for GameStop.
Well, yeah, it's a business, but that's a different conversation.
Yeah. It
is. My point with all this is, we talked about how work within what you're able to get and what you're able to do, but also keep in mind that you can think outside the box to get things that you don't think you can afford. You can get things that you don't think you can get. And by the way, that doesn't just apply to streaming and computer parts.
Imagine people thinking I know how to think.
Applies to a lot of things in life. I just had a kid. I don't know if you know this, but I've
dude, yeah, happy congratulations.
Wait a minute, hold up.
And
you don't have hands.
Yeah.
You don't have legs.
Yep.
You're stuck in a void.
Yeah.
And you had a kid.
Yeah.
What's everybody else's excuse?
So anyway,
I don't want kids.
There are so many things that I've been able to get for dirt cheap that would be so many dollars that you need to get for
so many dollars, like all the
punched my microphone,
like all the dollars. I'm talking. I mean, when you get a changing table dresser for your baby for $50, and the same one is $350 on Amazon, in fine condition. This concept doesn't just apply to computer equipment; it applies to so many things you can do in your life, and it's just really helpful. So work within your means. Find alternative ways to get the things that you need to get. Don't steal. Take care of the things that you have.
Yeah, stay on the right side of the law.
You're going to be great. You're going to be killing it, man. And as long as you're happy putting on a great face and having a dang good time, or, even if you're a rage machine, if that's your community, if that's your content, that's the important part. People don't care what graphics card you have, other than to look into when they're shopping for themselves and compare.
Look, I'll definitely say if Gaussen didn't drink so many mango IPAs, he probably wouldn't rage much.
That's true.
But then again, I do go for the raging, so.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my point. That's my wrap up for what I have to say on all this. So.
Got anything to add in like 3 minutes, Cobra?
Enjoy being you. Build a community. Work with what you got. Treat it like it's an RPG with a skill tree. You're going to start at one point. You're going to end up on another. And the only reason I bring this up is because Senpai had a really good piece of advice from a friend of his. Some people are just NPCs in the real world. So then treat streaming as an RPG.
I like that more than you know. I really enjoyed that metaphor. I really like that.
I was working on that for days.
I really like that.
Yeah.
Holy shit! I really liked that.
Achievement unlocked. Elgato face cam.
That's really good, actually.
Homie, grind them side quests until you can get yourself an upgrade, but don't put off the main quest while you're at it.
Yeah. Do everything you got to do to get that skill tree filled out.
Damn, that's good, man. We should have led with that shit right there, man. Holy cow.
Yeah, instead we led with 35 minutes of specs.
Some people is into that,
people tend to click off videos once you get close to the end, and they feel like there's nothing more to add. So I was trying to just save the good part for the end to keep them there.
But they wouldn't know that.
Never do that to our videos because we make the greatest podcast ever. For small upcoming creators who are trying to make the best of their time creating. Tell you what, join the Creators Lounge, friends. We love you. We're here for you. We want to help you out, and watch the Creators Lounge podcast every week, every 2 weeks.
It's supposed to be every week.
Every once in a while, here and there. and
the technical difficulties notwithstanding.
Subscribe, share with your friends. We love you. Kisses, hugs.
And everything they said, as he said, we're leaving. All right, okay, bye. I'm Almighty Senpai. He's Aeolus, and that is why in Cobra you can find all of our information in the description. As always, have fun, be safe, watch out for bears. Okay, bye.
Bye. smash that like button, destroy it, hit it with a home run. You know the subscriber count go to the moon.